Take three. Hello, everybody. Today's Saturday, June the 21st, 2025. My name is Shelly. This is my channel, The Serenity Stitcher, where I share my love of stitching and other crafty things. So today's video is not a regular FlossTube. It is a finish parade. Now these are not FFOs, just finished the stitching projects, and I have quite a bit of them. And I've been on a extended hiatus, I guess maybe more like a sabbatical from fully finishing stuff. I did fully finish an object yesterday though, which I will share in my upcoming update video next month, end of this month, beginning of next month. I am about to change jobs, and so it's going to be an adjustment for a little while. So anyway, I grabbed the first thing I'm going to show you is some smalls that I have finished. I have this drawer full of things that are finished stitching. This is one of those little, those little tower of drawers that you can get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Used to be Joann's, but Joann's is no more. So anyway, I actually have had to move to a second drawer because I have so many. So gosh, I hope I can remember all of these and what they are and who they're by and all that stuff. So hang on, let's see. Let me grab a board. Okay. So this is Stronger Together from Fat Quarter Shop. This was, I don't remember what year. I think it was the second year that they did this charity stitch, and it's on 14 count navy Aida with anchor colors that match the called for DMCs. Pretty much. I think it's anchor. Maybe it's some DMC and some anchor. I don't know. This was a magazine piece, and someone in the Magazine Monthly Challenge group had started a sale with this several years ago, and I ended up shortening it. It had more bands on it. It's from just Cross Stitch magazine. I don't remember the year, but I stitched it on a piece of antique white, I guess, even weave with my choices of anchor flosses. And it's all specialty stitches, so. This piece is from the Blue Flower. This is part of the Seasons of the Heart series that she did in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I think they're available on the market now. And I don't remember if it's this one. I think it's maybe the other one. So this is Spring, which these colors don't say spring to me. I wish I had done a conversion, but it's on a piece of hand-dyed 32 count that I did myself using the call for DMC flosses. This is also a Just Cross Stitch magazine piece on a piece of 14 count Aida that I hand-dyed. And I think I used a variety of DMCs and overdyes. There may be a little bit of a shadow. I might have to get in a different spot. Let me stop right here and watch back what I've filmed so far. I think we're okay. Okay, this is a stitching book club piece, her Emma pattern, which I absolutely love. I need to finish this so bad because I want it up and hanging on my wall. So I did anchor flosses, mostly to match the called for. I maybe made a couple of changes, but I absolutely love this piece. So pretty. I love, if you've never done one of Stitching Book Club's patterns, I love her patterns. She comes up with the best little ideas for to go along with books that you read. Okay, so this is a two-parter. This is Stitch by Stitch from Blackbird. I did this with my own choices of colors, and I stitched it on some 32 count handmade at number 12 over on Etsy. She had a Valentine pack several years ago, and I bought it and I used that to stitch these pieces on. So, you know, this will be sewn to right here, and it makes a heart. That's something I'm not, I mean, you know, I want it to be finished, but I'm kind of intimidated by getting it finished. This was part of the Scattered Seeds samplers. They have a yearly pin keep club, and this was from several years ago, the Home Sweet Home. And this club was a lot of fun. You get the fabric, you get the flosses, you get the pattern, you get the finishing stuff, and they're all on 36 count vintage country mocha, which I think is just so simple but beautiful. And I love birds, so cute. This is a magazine piece from designed by Emma Congdon, and I think you can get it also in her, it's either cross stitch for the heart or cross stitch for the soul, but when I stitched it, it was from a magazine. Am I lying? I think I might be lying. I think I did stitch it from the book. But I did this for mental health care sal with Candy the 614 Stitcher last year, I believe. And it's just on a piece of opalescent Ada that I hand-dyed using the called for DMC flosses. This is from Luminous Fiber Arts, I do believe. This is the Stitcher piece. I stitched this several years ago with Rachel Q for her birthday, and it's on a piece of 28 count hand-dyed even weave, stitched with silk floss from Fiberless's Yummy Fibers, and I stitched it 1/1 just to get it to fit on that skinny piece of fabric. This is from Cliffside Stitches, I believe. They did this little freebie back for when the Ukrainian war started, and I wanted to definitely participate in that. So I think I had to change it a little bit to fit on the fabric, but and then I added the words. I know what I was going to say. So this piece I actually did as a daily age challenge. So each day I would do you know, whatever age I was at the time. I think I was probably 56, which is crazy because I'm going to be 60 in a few months. So, can't believe it's been that long ago. You know, I could be wrong, but I think that's right. And then these are the Jeanette Douglas, her basket freebie that she had several years ago. I think you can purchase them now. I wish I could remember exactly what it was called. I love this one. I need to finish it for this month, for next month, for July. I just love it. These are all on 28 count Irish linen, which I pick up from Michael's. It's very inexpensive and it's wonderful to stitch on. Even though I don't usually stitch on, you know, 28 anymore, I do like to stitch on this fabric. And I did my own overdyed conversions on all of these. I didn't do the whole 12 months worth. There were several that I just didn't like. I didn't really care for the tomato one or the acorn one. And so these were a lot of fun. These little monthly stitches are a lot of fun just to be able to, you know, pick colors on stuff monthly. And of course, I don't remember what the months are, but look at that one. Beautiful. I think part of what's making me feel like there's a shadow in here or on this stuff, and I apologize if there is, but my eyes are bothering me a lot. I still, if you've been around a while, you know that it's been over a year. It's almost going to be 2 years now since this eye, I had the beginnings of a posterior vitreous detachment, and unfortunately it's not fully detached still. And so very often I have a shadow in front of in my vision, and it's very annoying. Very annoying. I went to the doctor and actually asked about going and doing a vitrectomy, but he said that he thought at my age, if we did that, I would end up developing a cataract in that eye. And so I don't want to have to do that until I absolutely have to do, you know, I don't want to do cataract surgery. So this is Forget Me Not from Blackbird. This is a piece of fabric that I hand dyed, and I used my own choices of overdyed flosses. I did this several years ago in honor of my mom's grandmother, who we called the Old Mama. This is Snowy Jar from the Chockful series by Hands On Design. I did the club through Fat Quarter Shop. This is when I first came back to stitching, so 2019 and 2020. It's 14 count chalkboard black Ada with overdyed flosses, and I love these. So I've got it on the board and ready to fully finish. I just haven't fully finished it yet. But I have, this is what I FFO'd, the Liberty one in this series. I FFO'd that yesterday. Here's another Patriotic that I need to get finished, fully finished. This was in a magazine, a Just Cross Stitch, I believe, but I think it's Cherry Hill Stitchery. It's just so cute, and I really need to finish it now for next month. And this is, I'm pretty sure this is the Irish linen, and I did my own overdyed flosses. Look at the grass. So cute. Ooh. Okay, so several years ago, I joined Rachel Q for her EM ABC sal, and so we did Erica Michael's alphabet book, which is it's, you know, alphabets obviously, but each month, or not each month, each letter was a different specialty stitch. And so, you know, I have all of these. I did them all on 28 count even weave that I hand dyed. Make sure I've got all of them. This is another thing that I'm sort of intimidated to finish. I think this is all of them. So, and when we started making this, she didn't at that time have the, she didn't have the instructions reprinted, and so I just kind of went in it blindly. But this is the only piece that I did not over dye, I believe. And then I just picked my own flosses, both over dyeds and, you know, regular cottons. And I'm not going to do them in order. They're all out of order. I did stitch what the stitch was, the specialty stitch on some of them. And I don't remember. I think I'm going to take that out. And I don't remember why, but there was some reason why I decided to take that out. But this was a lot of fun, you know, another, you know, picking the colors for each block and learning the specialty stitches. Love this one. But, you know, this one right here was like, why? Why so many V's? Why? Why so many letters on each one? I don't know. This one's pretty. Queen. Look at those little spider web roses on the sheep. This one's real cute. So this is the only one that, you know, it's got 3 letters on one block. This one was a lot of fun. Not really. These right here about the you know, metallic thread. So cute. This is probably going to end up being a gazillion hours long. Some of these were hard to find instructions, you know, and she had some instruction in the pattern, but it wasn't necessarily the best, most thorough. And so I would, you know, try to go online and find, you know, maybe a video or something. I don't know why this one's so spread out, but like I said, when I first started stitching him, I had no idea how I was going to finish it, and I didn't have any kind of instructions to go by, so. Okay, so that's the EMC ABC sal, Erica Michaels. This is a magazine piece from one of the just cross-stitch Christmas ornaments, stitched on a 20 count pink Ada, and a lot of back stitching on that. This is also a magazine piece. Oh God, I love this. This is another one I need to get it FFO'd because, oh God, so pretty. I love birds and I love shabby chic stuff, so that's definitely right up my alley. Okay. This Emma Congdon piece was from a magazine. It's one of the World of Cross Stitching, I believe, or Cross Stitcher magazines. They had a series of, I think, 6 sort of mental health, awareness pieces. And this was the first one. No, this wasn't the first one. The first one was It's Okay Not to Be Okay, I think. And I actually fully finished that one. This is a Christmas ornament from Just Cross Stitch also. Cute little red bird. This is one of the smalls from the Chalkful series. So I did the harvest jar for my older daughter, and then I did the boo jar for my younger daughter and gave them to them for Christmas one year. I do want to stitch both of those pieces for myself because I want this whole series. I love them. So that's the small. This is a little Christmas ornament. This is really pretty. Pretty. That's just cross stitch. Here's the boo small. This is I think this is a freebie from Fat Quarter Shop. I don't remember what the name of this series was. They did like a bunch of, like every other month they did a release with this same sort of, I don't know, I call it like a tangram, like a quilt, block, but this was the heart. And I did it with silks, my own choices of paint box silks. And I don't know why I stitched it so much in the middle of this fabric, because, I could have stitched it over here and had a whole big old piece left. I think it's just a piece of weeks, maybe. Not sure. Here's another just cross stitch ornament. Stitched on 14 count navy Aida with black work. So cute. This is another one of the Scattered Seed Samplers Pin Keep series. Spring Messenger. Oh gosh. So cute. I mean, and I have everything I need to finish it, so why am I not finishing it? This is a piece that I did. I did it as a gift for someone that was living in a camper at the time. But when I was stitching on it, I got COVID. And this was like at the end of 2020. And so I didn't want to finish it and send it to her with COVID germs all over it. And so, and then after that, they stopped living in a camper. So it's cute. It was from a magazine. Another little ornament, black work from a magazine. This has got beads on it, and it's on 14 count opalescent Aida. So pretty. So this one's partially FFO'd. There's another piece that goes with this. It was supposed to be a biscornu, and I cut it wrong. And so I'm just going to finish it as like a little small, but this was like a companion to that piece. I just haven't put the little pages in the needle book. And that was from a magazine. This is old, like 1990s old. So my younger daughter, her nursery was themed in teddy bears. And so this is this is supposed to be cut out and you put a photograph in it, and that intimidates me. So I guess I could do it. I don't know. I guess I could do it for some other baby and maybe for a great-grandchild or something and put their information right here, you know. I don't know. We'll see. This is just this little kit that I think I got it at an auction at a quilt guild, and it was just part of a bunch of other, you know, in a bag with a bunch of other stuff. It's just a little star ornament, but I did get that finished. Okay, so that's all the smaller ones that I have. I'll pause and then get the other one. I'm gonna talk to y'all while I keep putting this. So this is gonna be good, you know, doing this video, because I have a goal to like fully finish 2 things every month. I've already finished one thing this month, like yesterday, and so this is helping me see. Like, I didn't know I knew I wanted to finish that chock full jar, but I didn't know what else I wanted to like fully finish. And so this is sort of, you know, it's given me some ideas of, okay, this is what I want to finish this month. I think I'm actually going to leave that out. And there was another, this little Jeanette Douglas. I'm going to keep that out. Yep. Okay. So the rest of my whips I have on, oh, sorry. I have on these, I have on hangers like this. I have 3 of these. And I talked about this when I mentioned making this video a few videos back. I don't consider this like, you know, a lot of people film these and say it's their box of shame that lives underneath the bed. I don't consider it my box of shame, because it's, you know, it's my work, and I did do my work. But it makes me a little sad because, you know, I have so many pieces that I just absolutely love, and they're just hanging in here on, you know, hangers where I can't see them. So that makes me sad. It doesn't make me ashamed. It doesn't make me embarrassed. It makes me feel a little lazy. And, you know, like I said, just sad because, you know, these deserve to be up and on view. Okay, this is Cottage Garden Samplings. This is their Bluebird of Happiness, which I love bluebirds. This is on 28 count wood shelt linen. This is one of the first patterns that I bought when I came back to stitching in 2019. And, you know, at that point I was following Fat Quarter Shop. That's where I came back to stitching. You know, that was what prompted me to come back to stitching, was, you know, watching that quilting channel, and then Kimberly Jolly started doing all the cross stitch stuff. And so, you know, and just seeing the way that people finished it these days and stuff, it just really, it drew me in again. And so they had a fabric club for wood shelt linen, and I never really, I have one piece that I stitched on linen, you know, a long time ago, and it's still not finished. But that was the only, you know, experience that I had with linen. You know, now it's like there's so many different choices and stuff. So all that to say that wood shelt is not necessarily my favorite linen to stitch on now, but that was what I knew at that moment in time. And so I ended up doing this in memory of my dad. My dad passed in August of 2020. So a few months, it's going to be 5 years, which is crazy. But I use the called for Weeks Dye Work flosses and absolutely adore it. And I want this on my wall. I want it on my wall. So in this apartment, I have a lot of wall space that I can put stuff on. And so, yeah, I want these hanging on my wall. So this was 2020. This was a stitch along with, a mystery stitch along with Bluebird Needleworks. And I don't know if she has an Etsy or not. I know she was on Instagram, and that was sort of where I want to say that's where I bought it. But each month we got a block, and I did this on a 32 count, I believe. It's called Sunshower Linen, and it's very yellow. It's not really filming true to color. That might be as close as I could get it right there. But I did my own flosses, some overdyed, some DMC maybe. I think maybe it's all overdyes actually. Because by that time I had learned all about overdyes and, you know, just fell in love with it, so. I mean, and that's, you know, I've got a good piece of linen there at the bottom. I need to cut that off. This is Fat Quarter Shop Feels Like Home. This is on some antique Monaco, using the overdyed flosses that they call for. I think that they called for. I think maybe I changed something on the house. But I want to say I even have like the piece that I want to finish this on, and I've got it backed and ready to go. And so this is another one that I've got the piece that I want to put it on and got it backed and ready to go. This was their first Stronger Together Fat Quarter Shops. And I just did a, you know, hand-dyed even weave. I really need to start dyeing again because I really like it. This is another Stitching Book Club, Her Little Women. Oh gosh. So pretty. And this is just her call for flosses. See what I mean? She just does so pretty stuff. This is from a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I do my magazines on the Readly app. And yeah, so I don't have a bunch of magazines everywhere. Not cross stitch anyway. I used to. Got rid of them when I didn't stitch anymore. But now I do the Readly app. And if you haven't tried that, it's definitely worth a try. I can put a link below with a code. You know, you get, access to tons and tons and tons of magazines. Not just cross stitch or other crafts, but, you know, like, you know, tabloids, you know, women's magazines, all that kind of stuff. Collecting, you know, like car and dry, I don't know, all kind of different things. But this is Algerian, I want to say it's Algerian redwork heart. I could be wrong, but it's stitched on that Irish linen. And I stitched it with DMC 112, I think is the variegated red. This piece, I sort of did it almost like monogamously, which I don't monogamous stitch anymore, but I pretty much stitched on this until I got it done. This was from a magazine, and oh God, I really would like to probably turn this into a pillow. I think that's really what I want to do with it, is turn it into a pillow. So this fabric, so my coworker had these linen curtains that she didn't want anymore, and she brought them to work and, you know, said whoever wants them, just take them. Well, they sat and sat and sat for weeks, and finally I, you know, went over there and like picked it up and looked at it, and I went, hey, this is like, I could stitch on this. So I have these like gobs and gobs of this fabric. Yeah, so pretty. I love flowers. I love flowers and birds. Okay, that's one hanger. Okay, this piece right here, this piece is so special to me. So this is, oh man, now I'm gonna not be able to remember the name of the designer. I'll put it across the bottom right here. It's slipping my mind completely, but this was a freebie, and this was the MLK sampler. So I started this on a retreat, and I started it on his date of death. No, I think I started it on his birthday. I did. I started it on his birthday, January 15th. And I don't remember. Okay, so 2022 is when I finished it. So, and that's 2022. Okay, so I started it on January 15th, 2022, and I started it before the retreat. It's all coming back to me now. Then in April of that year, I went on a retreat, and I planned to, after the retreat, which was on the eastern side of Alabama, I went and visited my brother and his husband in Atlanta. And so I made a goal to finish it on his date of death. And I did. I finished it on his date of death. Well, while I was up there, or over there with them, we went to the MLK historical site. And so we got to, I don't remember the name of the church, but it's where his funeral was. And I had no idea, but when we went there, I think it was April the 6th, it was actually the anniversary of his funeral. And so we got to go sit in the church where his funeral service was held, and they had Mahalia Jackson singing, and then they had his funeral speech. That was just so special and meaningful to me to go and, to have this piece. I took it with me to, take pictures at this historical site, and for it just to so happen that we were there on the anniversary of his funeral it was really special. So I did this on, this is an even weave from Hobby Lobby, and I did it with overdyed flosses, my own choices. This is something I did along with Barbara, the Raspberry Stitcher. She hosted an autism awareness sal, I guess, so 2021 to 2022, because I did keep up with this sal. This is Jessie Watson from Hands Across the Sea. This was my first sampler. So beautiful. And this is just the DMCs. This eyelet heart was a beast, but so pretty and just so satisfying to work on it, Oh man, I really want to finish these pieces, but I don't know what to finish them on. So this is Waxing Moon's Valentine House Trio. And let's see if I can do this. So I stitched these on China Pearl Witch Helt 28 count. I used Autumn.Stitches over on Instagram. I used her color conversion. For a minute there, I thought that designer name was going to come to me, but it didn't. Anyway, I used her color conversion, and so, the models on the patterns, they were pretty, but it did make me want to stitch them. But when I saw her color conversion, with the pinks and the purples. I'm all about that. So, and I want to finish these all together on one piece. And so it's just finding that piece that to stitch them on, I mean to finish them on, that is holding me up. This is Bonnie and Camille's, it's in the Quilt Bee book. What's the name of the sampler? I don't remember. But it is all Cosmo flosses, the called for. And, you know, I'm a quilter, and so I thought, hey, a quilt in a cross stitch pattern. That'll be so fun. Not. So I don't like doing, I don't like cross stitching quilts, which kind of makes no sense, but anyway, it's still pretty and I love it. Don't know, have any idea how I'm going to finish that. I know someone finished it as a pillow. It's kind of big for a pillow, but I do need pillows in my living room. This was a Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Quarterly. This is Hey Pumpkin. This is a 10 count Lori Holt fabric. DMC flosses, 4 strands over 2 threads. No, over 1 thread. Yeah, it feels like it's linen, you know, because it's so soft, but it's Aida, 7 count Aida. I just really thought that it would be rough looking at it, and it's not. It's real soft. Okay, this is Madame Chantilly. Don't remember the name of it. My Love. This is a mystery even weave, and I use the DMC flosses. I love decorating for Valentine's Day, and I love anything with flowers. So, and I mean, this is just so shabby chic looking. I love it. Oi, Bloom. Yeah. Flea market flowers. So I changed some of the blocks and did some words instead of so many flowers. These flowers took so long to stitch. Oh my goodness. So I finally finished it in 2024. I don't remember when I started it. I probably worked on it 3 years. So my own hand-dyed fabric, my own hand-dyed, not my own hand-dyed, but hand-dyed flosses, my choices. Because like this flower right here, this block is all brown. I don't do brown flowers, so I changed it up. That was so fun to get finished. It wasn't fun to stitch. This is polka dot. I'll put it down across the bottom. It's something polka dot. She's on Etsy and she does temperature charts. So this was my 2022 temperature chart on 14 count chalkboard black Aida. This is some of the Aida that, you know, in those kits for the chalk full, there's a lot of extra fabric each month. And so in each pattern. So I think I still have, you know, several packages that aren't even open. I would like to put this on a bag. Turn it into a bag. That was one hanger. This is Owl Forest Embroidery. They're hummingbirds. And it's got the fuchsia flowers on it, which I love. So this is a 36 count ice blue Zweigart linen, and I did use their thread pack. Their threads are gorgeous. And they're if you haven't tried them, ordering from them, even with them shipping from Russia, their stuff is so reasonable. And I did, you know, I did the PDF pattern and then just ordered the thread pack. And then I bought the fabric, I think here in the States, because they had it, it wasn't in stock when I ordered it. This is, I think this is Jardin Privé. Their Christmas Quaker. Their Christmas Quaker. So it was done all in red. The model was. I don't remember which red I chose. It's an overdyed. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted to add some other color to it, and so I did the Christmas tree in one green, and then the words are in another green, all overdyed flosses, and then it's on a 14 count opalescent Aida. I love it. And I actually got out stuff to finish it last Christmas, and you know, I didn't because I'm lazy. So you know, I'm a process stitcher. I like the process of it, but I'm also a progress stitcher. So I like to, you know, make goals, meet goals, and I would love to have all of this finished and on display. This piece is a freebie from Ann Makes Things over on Instagram. I think she either has a blog or she has a shop now where you can download her patterns, but this was Our Father, and she loves birds, and I love her use of color. When she does color conversions, I just fall in love with them. So I did this piece in memory of my ex's mom, and I think I'm going to gift it to him when I finish it. I might do that for Christmas. This linen, I don't know what this linen is. I don't know what the linen is. This is another one. Another Stitching Book Club that I really love this piece. So this one I completely changed the colors. I hand dyed the fabric, and I did my own overdyed conversion, and the houses, I went online and saw like what the inspirations were for the houses in the book, and I tried to give them those colors. And then right here on these two spots, it was silhouettes of Jane and Mr. Rochester, and I decided I wanted to put quotes from the book. I want to say the quote at the bottom, I want to say I changed the quote at the bottom. So I did the I have as much soul as you and full as much heart quote. And then I did, on Mr. Rochester's side, I did the quote, every atom of your flesh is as dear to me as my own. In pain and in sickness, it would still be dear. And then on Jane's side, I did, no woman was ever nearer to her mate than I am, evermore absolutely bone of his bone and flesh of his flesh. So pretty. I would love to have like a, you know, like a library section of stitching. This one was a lot of fun. This is Lori Holt. I don't remember the name of it, but it was for breast cancer awareness. And I did my own conversion with anchor flosses on a piece of gray even weave. I want to say it's Lori Holt even weave. So fun. Something support maybe? I don't remember. I'll put it across at the bottom here. This is a magazine piece by Cheryl McKinnon, who is Tiny Modernist. This is the Fall Band Sampler. This was in either, I think it was Cross Stitcher magazine. One year she had, you know, the whole year, you know, 4 seasons. I did leave off one of the bands. It's on an 18 count oatmeal Ada. I used DMC flosses, some the called for, some my own choices. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. My iPad's running out of juice, and so I'm having to reorient my myself and my setup. So anyway, that's the band sampler for autumn. I do have the winter one started. And this is Shannon Christine's Craft Room, stitched on 14 count black Ada, not chalkboard, but just regular black. DMC flosses, but I did do a conversion on the machine and turned it into purple. I definitely want to have this, get this done. I have, I don't know why. I have more wall space in this apartment. I guess because I don't have as many windows. So, yeah, I need to get this finished and get it up on my wall in my craft cave. Here's another patriotic magazine piece. This is Imaginating, and I think it was from a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I stitched it on a piece of Ada from Hobby Lobby, and used the pretty much the called for DMCs. I think I maybe had to change a few, but I would love to have that finished and displayed next month. This is another Stitching Book Club piece. This was the Sense and Sensibility Sal, which I stitched on a 28 count even weave. She gave instructions on dyeing, and so I did dye it myself and used her call for DMCs. So I love her stuff. I have several of her sales that I bought the patterns, like I didn't participate in the sale when it was going on, but I think the first one I ever saw of hers was A Secret Garden, and fell in love with it, and that was how I discovered her. So I still have that piece that I want to stitch just because I love the piece. Okay, this is Elizabeth, and she's a big girl, so guess I saved the best and biggest for last, because this is my last piece to show you today. This is Hands Across the Sea, Elizabeth Weston, stitched on a hand-dyed linen by Devin FL over on Instagram, and I used the DMC flosses. I really want to have this piece framed for my 60th birthday. You know, I had planned to ask, you know, for you know, birthday / anniversary, which is on the same date. Don't ever get married on your birthday. But, you know, my divorce is going to be final, hopefully by the end of this month. So I have to do it myself. I do have a frame that will work in my stash, and so I just need to find out from the local frame shop if they will, you know, if they can use that and do it in that frame, save me some money. I bought some frames off of Facebook Marketplace, and there's one that's it's very large, and at first I was like, you know, maybe I can get them to cut it down, and my daughter was like, Mom, you know, don't get them to cut it down. This, you know, this is a masterpiece. It needs to be, you know, Leave it in the big frame, in other words. Okay, so as I was watching that video back, I realized I was like, where is this piece I finished? And where is this piece I finished? So I found another stack of stuff. So evidently I didn't save the best and biggest for last. So this is the other Seasons of the Heart that I have done. This is autumn, of course. And this is the one that I didn't finish the heart all the way. And so I have it on, I have it already on backed with interfacing, but I think I can still stitch it. So there's just those few little stitches. So got that. This is a recent finish. This is from Satsuma Street, Egg Hunt, on some tin roof from Weeks with call for DMC flosses, which are gorgeous. And this is the little beach piece that I was talking about. Little piece that I had set aside to finish. It's a magazine piece. This is Jan Hicks Creates Spring Flourish. This is on Wichelt Water Lily Linen, and I used the silk pack from Mrs. Sada's. So this is the first time I stitched with silks, and they are amazing to stitch with. This fabric is a pretty green, but it doesn't film real close, true to color, so maybe right there. It's a little bit darker than that. These are a couple of more of the Jeanette Douglas baskets. Bouquets is what they are. I always call them baskets. It's bouquets. This one was fun to do. I did one for Christy over at Floss Boss and Cousins. She was my exchange partner in the North Alabama Stitchers, and so I stitched her one, and then I stitched one for myself. This is Sweater Weather from October House Fiber Arts. This is a freebie from Erin Elizabeth. It's is it June's Pansy? It's her. She did it in honor of her grandmother. So I did it on a piece of Vintage Country Mocha Ada with call for DMCs. I did this in honor of my mom. She loved pansies. And I mean, I love them too. This is Silver Spring Samplers Introverted, which I love. I did my own color conversion on a piece of leftover 18 count oatmeal Ada. Love it. That I would love to. I was thinking a bag, but I don't know. Either a bag or put it on a frame and put it in my craft room. This is a magazine piece, the Easter Party Tray. And these flosses are actually thrifted flosses. It's just so sweet. I think this is a platinum linen. I did beads instead of the French knots. So cute. This is another Stitching Book Club. This is Anne of Green Gables, which, oh man, y'all. I mean, when I saw this pattern, when I saw that section right there, I thought I was going to die from excitement. I mean, look at her. I'm telling you, Kristen does just beautiful, beautiful patterns. That's a piece of opalescent 36 count that I hand dyed. And then I used her DMCs. I just changed the color of her hair, I believe. This was a freebie from Doreen Jones. This is the, what is the name of this one? The Garden Sal, I believe. So this is on a piece of 22 count that I did with DMC flosses. My choices, some of the call for, but hers were blue where I have the purples. And I did it 2 strands over 2 threads on this linen. Not linen, but Ada. This is one of the pieces when I was filming, I was like, when I was watching it back, I was like, where is that? I was like, I don't think I finished it, FFO'd it. So this is Summer Jubilee from Blackbird. This is a piece of 40 count anthracite linen. And I did my own color conversion with overdyed flosses. So pretty. So I have quite a few patriotic pieces I need to finish. And then this is really, really the last one. This is Croquetta Go-Go's freebie Christmas house. It's on a 28 count pink with Chelt. And I did my own, some DMCs that were called for, and then my own overdyed choices on some of it. So cute. So cute. It's the freebies. She's got several of these houses that are freebies. Okay, so while I was watching back what I filmed, I did count. So I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna add these and then I'll give a count at the very end. Okay, so the total count is 76. So I have 76 pieces that I've finished stitching, except for that one piece that was from the 90s, since 2019, sort of the end of 2019. So not too shabby. Now if I can just get them finished and get them up on my wall, or, made into bags or whatever I decide to do with them. But that is my finish parade. If you stuck around this long, I'm glad that you did. If you saw something that you liked, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed and you want to come hang out with me every month, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you come back on a regular basis, and I will see y'all sometime early next month, probably. Okay, guys, have a great weekend, and if I don't see you, have a happy 4th of July. Thanks. Bye.